going before I reveal to you the mystery STI that I have created in my home laboratory. Oh, no, there we go, because I can hear it on my computer in my home laboratory. There we go. That means we're working, baby.
Oh, boy.
How you, now it says, but on my phone it says channel is offline. I'm looking at whoops, this is a past broadcast. How do I look at the one that's happening right now? I gotta search TrueAnon.
It's going.
It says 0 viewers. If that's correct, then I am gonna.
Well, they're in there.
Oh, there we are. That's right.
Yeah.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Hello, boys.
Hi. It's so nice to see a familiar face. No, I'm looking behind my computer at the models that are standing there and making kissy faces at me. Happy Saturday, guys. You guys like this, or Sunday? You guys like this rain?
No, I'm so fucking cold.
I don't like it.
Speak on it, sister.
That's why I feel bad. I'm wearing an overcoat. I might have to go get a scarf. I've been wearing overcoats and hats indoors all weekend, like a hobo. Old-timey hobo.
Riding the rails.
Real bright hours because my heat is turned off this weekend, and it's perfect since it's freezing rain outside and I have to be inside all day.
I keep thinking back to like the fire times that, it's raining, like this is going to clear the whole thing up. We'll be able to go outside again without masks, but it's not that situation, so it just kind of sucks.
Well, I was telling you guys that there is a notorious arsonist that was just let out of San Francisco County Jail on Friday. So, I gotta say, that guy is, yes, but he's not very good at it. He just tries to start a lot of fires in Hayes Valley. But
if you ask me,
I talked to someone in Seattle who said there's been a big uptick in arson attacks. Because, I mean, look, it really makes sense. It's like so many businesses are going to close. Might as well, insurance claim.
I think
we're going to see more of that.
People need to stop being so concerned with arsons, and we need to worry about our sons.
You have a kid?
No, just generally speaking.
I'm full daughters. Only got daughters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny though, because that guy I feel like is really bummed. He gets let out of jail on a fucking Friday. Total great weekend to burn some buildings down. He gets out there, fucking pouring rain. Sorry. But
Bob's up there like,
if he's smart, he could just, possibly burn some things inside. I don't know. I'm not a big fire bug. Not a huge fire guy.
burn some CDs.
You never got into that?
Well, I actually was. My first arrest was for arson, but you know that, right? When I was like 12, I think. But I got arrested for that and then charged. I was with some kids and we were screwing around with some fireworks behind the Sloats hardware, and this one fucking horrible, ugly piece of shit named Andrew. No disrespect if you're watching that, but much respect if you're a fan now. He threw a particularly volatile firework against my wishes and my vocalizations. He threw it onto a hill that was filled with dry grass or covered in dry grass. Burned the whole hill, and there was all these apartment buildings at the top, and it didn't burn them, but it fucked them up pretty bad. And I stuck around to watch the fire and I was like questioned, and then this girl ratted me out later, and I got, I think, charged with something, and then they downgraded it to like vandalism. Yeah, I had written brace rules. It was bullshit. I was like 12. They had written brace rules in crayon, rules with a Z as well, and they had blown up like whatever giant photographs in black and white of the graffiti, and like called me in the questioning room, and they put me on probation. I didn't really get in trouble that bad of trouble for it, but I did actually get in really bad trouble for it. What am I talking about? I was on probation for years, and I got sent to Montana. But that's like what started my downfall. I could have been a good kid and not for that. Liz, have you ever been arrested?
Terrible.
You ever gone to the
No. No.
I would never arrest you.
Almost. I almost got arrested once for drinking in public in New York. I lived there, and we were underage. But what happened was, this is so fucked up. One of the kids I was with, who was like very just like demonstrably gay. Mm-hmm. The NYPD decided just to fuck with him, and they like beat the shit out of him and took him down to the precinct in the Lower East Side, and we had to go down there and get him out of there. But then they didn't even bother with us because they just fucking beat the shit out of him. So fucked up. This is like when I was like 19 or something.
Yeah, it's funny. All these like normal crimes that like aren't even that bad. Like you can like not. It's like really hard to get in trouble for drinking on the street in San Francisco, or was. But in New York, it's like everyone talks about how it's like this fucking gritty city and everything's all crazy. But my buddy went to jail for blasting a cig in a subway station there. He went to actual jail for that, like for days. It's bullshit. What about you? You ever been arrested?
Yeah, I think you remember this. So it was a couple years ago, protest that I did with a bunch of other young Jewish radicals. But it ended up being like super easy in the end. I mean, it was technically an arrest, but they just kind of pulled us around the corner. So basically, a bunch of us went and we like we blocked off the entrance to Dianne Feinstein's office, and we were demanding that she like condemn the murder of protesters in Gaza. It was pretty rad. It felt really good. We were there for like a few hours, and the police came in and they issued us like several warnings. And they were like, if you don't get the fuck out of here, we're going to arrest you. But we didn't know if we were going to go to jail. But in the end, we didn't. They just, they like grab you by the arm and kind of drag you a little bit. You? But we just got citations.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I got during the Iraq War protests.
Yeah.
Because they were just citing everyone. They weren't really, I don't know. I don't know. It's good that I didn't get arrested then, I guess.
One time, me and my Honduran ex-girlfriend were out in front of Casanova, and I got in a tussle with a guy due to his touching her hair. I was like, come on, buddy. What are you doing? And he kept doing it, and then, I smashed his head on the front of Nazario's Pizza, worst pizza in the fucking city.
That place so bad.
Horrible.
So
right
bad.
Next to R&L's too. Disgusting. Why would you make it's ridiculous. But there was cops already arresting people across the street for another fight, and my buddy was like, hey, look, they're coming over here. So I book it with my girlfriend, and she and I end up going to that alleyway across on 16th next to the burrito place that has the french fries and the burritos, Coyote, and the cop pulls a gun. And he's like, stop or I'm going to shoot. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'll absolutely stop. Are you kidding? Do not shoot me. They let her go, even though they call her a bitch, which I was like, you're lucky that I'm not going to reach for your service weapon. And they put me in their squad car for 3 hours, and I had a gram of cocaine in a pocket right here. By the way, I've not done cocaine for a long time. I know people podcast people love pretending that we all do cocaine. And I spend 3 hours twisting myself contorting myself, and I get it out of the pocket. And I realize there's no place to hide it, so I just stomp it for like 45 minutes underfoot until it's basically all in. I'm stomping right now with my right leg. Until it's all in. And then they let me go. They just cite me with, I think, battery or something. But the guy dropped the charge, so no problem. It rocks when people drop charges. Amazing. What's up?
I know, I said that's nice. It's a good story, except for your girl.
Yeah, well, it was probably the kindest thing I ever did in our relationship. I was not a great boyfriend. But getting into a fight in front of girls rules. They love it. They love it.
Getting into fights over girls?
Just in front of them.
In front of them.
Yeah. It's really good. They really enjoy seeing you do that, especially if you lose, because then they're like, "Oh, my wounded warrior."
That's true. Like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. They're on the submarine, and she's like touching all his wounds and shit, and they start making out.
I don't remember that, but I've lived it.
You can imagine it because it's a classic trope.
Have you seen that movie, Grace?
Not in a long time. I have. I guarantee I have. But it's been quite a while. I don't remember submarines from Harrison Ford being on them, but I could be mixing those up with spaceships too. Very similar.
Yeah, pretty sure that's in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, it's Karen Allen, and they sneak onto the Nazi submarine.
I wonder if Bojo's about to get some pussy now that he's in. What do they? No, they call it in hospital. British people don't say that they're in the hospital. They say that they're in hospital.
Yeah, it's true.
He's probably really sick, dude. Like, I was thinking through it, and I was like, okay, if he's going to the hospital, like, they were doing whatever they could at 10 Downing already. So they probably have, like, maybe not a full ventilator, but they have oxygen there.
They fully
They've
should
got
have. It should be
whatever doctors. I mean, it's the fucking prime minister.
He's
so
the
for him to
president
go to the
of England.
hospital, like, it means they needed a fucking MRI or a CT scan to see what was going on in his lungs.
But what surprises me is that
like,
they don't have stuff like that there, right? Because there's no could you imagine
well, that's what I'm wondering. It means that they might have had to intubate him.
But I'm surprised that they couldn't do that in. I mean, I guess the news would come out anyway, so it doesn't really matter one way or the other. But it's shocking because imagine if Trump got it, and imagine if Trump worsened, then they'd fully bring all that shit into the White House, right?
Or they just wouldn't let it be known that he was at the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm like. I mean, I think the Americans are different than the Brits, but if Bojo's going to the hospital, it's a bad sign.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for him. But yeah,
I think the historical moment necessitates at least one, if not more, world leaders must die.
What? Yeah, exactly. And that's why, the
world spirit demands its blood sacrifice.
Well, remember when it first hit the Islamic Republic of Iran, my thing immediately went to, because it was like half the cases there were like parliamentarians, and at first I was like, somebody gave it to them, but I'm like, I think this I thought it would be one of them that dies. I thought they were gonna give it to I don't know, whoever. I didn't. Yeah, I figured some of them would die, but now that it's moved to Bojo, I'm very, very curious to see. I hope Merkel gets it. I don't hope Merkel gets it. I would just note that news if it happened. But what would happen if Bojo died?
I don't know, actually. I feel like I'm not fresh on my,
succession.
the British successive powers. I mean, the Queen gave her a test today. She seems in fine health.
Even though her footman has it.
Yeah, she's how old is she now? 90 something?
I'm looking up. She's 136.
No.
There is no deputy prime minister. Can one of our British listeners? You guys are probably all asleep. Oh, did Tories just pick a new prime minister? Oh, damn. So there's a chance for Jeremy Corbyn.
Could you imagine? That would make it makes no sense, but I feel like this is one of those what was it? It was okay, Mueller arrests Trump.
Yeah.
Then President Orrin Hatch steps down.
Yeah.
President Hillary. It's that's
no,
the
it was
game
Pelosi.
that we're playing now.
It was Pelosi. Oh, but then Pelosi would abdicate it to Hillary.
Orrin Hatch or something.
Well, Orrin Hatch, I think, was fourth down the line, and then eventually it goes to Pelosi. After every other Republican is also arrested, it goes to Pelosi. And then Pelosi, I believe the fantasy is that Pelosi would just be like, "Oh, white women look the same to everybody. I'll just get another one in here." And then Hillary gets in. But if Bojo died, I mean, that'll be fucking crazy. Like, that seems like it should happen.
Yeah,
right?
that's like very crazy. Also, because it would be the death of the Ubermensch.
Oh, yes. Yeah. What
Yeah,
was
you like
his
that
thing with that?
Remember? There was the piece in Quillette that called him the Ubermensch.
Amazing.
Because of his skull shape, right?
I mean, that is what I guess Quillette enjoys skull shape measuring.
Yeah, I would love to write for Quillette. I bet I could do it.
What would be your
could. Why not?
I would just complain about.
Submit.
I could complain about girls. I could complain about. I feel like they'd let me do that there. I could complain about physical fitness standards for the Army. That's what I would do. I would stake out my my claim there and saying that they're either too high or too low.
Like, I'm trying to imagine some headlines. Like, you'd talk about, like, the...
fat people can fly planes. I would say that.
Fat people can fly planes.
There's likely a weight limit on how big a pilot can be, and I don't know if there is, but it seems like there's something that would be. Because I feel like you have to account for all the pounds there. I would make my position that there should be no weight limit, that they should simply make the plane stronger. If someone proves themselves to be an exceptional pilot, but has a thyroid issue, or simply is just too cocky and hotshot of a pilot to want to change the way they look, which respect for that, I would say that person should be able to become a fighter ace. That would be my...
So you're like the fat positive NatSec Quillette columnist.
No, I would still find a way to be mean about it. Just to thread the needle so it doesn't look like I'm like a namby-pamby.
So it's purely out of militarism.
What'd you say, Liz?
I said I've read some okay pieces on Quillette.
I never.
Like, I don't think it's like they publish so much. It's just like, you know, I don't know. I think it's whatever, like any other publication.
It sucks. I have no interest in any of it. There's no publication I like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think.
Did you read that Vermeulen piece, however you say his name?
I did, but
in the Atlantic?
I read like half of it. Give me a breakdown. What's he talking about?
Yeah, I mean, he's just talking about, it's like his whole thing is that basically, like, I mean, this is what, you know, this kind of like post-liberal, illiberal right, whatever it wants to call itself, the idea that it can orient the kind of constitutional powers toward what they call like the greater good. I mean, it's funny. To me, it's like, it was just such a blatant, I mean, it's really just talking about like a centralization of powers, either through the courts and the executive, which is like worrying that, but it's just begging for a Caesar, I think, which has been, I mean, we've talked about that. That's sort of the MO of a lot of the kind of like dissident right. It's just begging for authoritarian technocrat, really.
But they don't even have a guy. Like, who's their guy?
I don't think they have a guy either, but I don't know, maybe it's someone we don't know yet.
I know, but you can't, that's the thing is, like, you can't beg for it without a guy. You need the guy.
Maybe it's this guy.
Maybe it's this guy?
Maybe it's Adrian.
Nobody who's writing for The Atlantic is going to become the American Caesar. I'm sorry.
Well, no, he's a law professor at Harvard. Bronze Age pervert is that he's CIA, which I kind of like.
Oh, what's his reasoning?
Because he worked with, a lot of it's based on his academic work with Sunstein at Harvard, all about infiltrating dissident movements, which is kind of interesting.
I'm sorry.
And so the whole theory is that, I think the whole theory is that he's there as kind of like a Pied Piper to take this kind of like dissident, you know, proto, whatever we want to call it, energy that's like emerging on the right and kind of like funnel it back in toward some kind of institutional grab, maybe.
It's funny because
interesting.
I feel like the moment for all that
I think he follows me on Twitter.
I feel like the moment for all that is over. Like I think like Trump was like kind of a thermidor.
There?
Oh, whoop! Yeah, it's back. Can you hear me now?
Now I can see you. You were frozen.
That's
I thought you were just giving me a hard stare.
I feel like that Trump was kind of like had like a Thermidorian reaction for them. Like I feel like it's over. Like they thought they were gonna go one way. Like all these like dissident right people, then all the alt-right people. They thought Trump was gonna be something other than what he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just at the end, he's just like a liberal, and like that's all he's gonna be. We were talking about this yesterday. It's like all of these guys are just living in a fucking fantasy. That like Trump is gonna be. I mean, whatever he may have like. Nothing he's doing. He's like not even a De Gaulle. You know what I mean?
No, he's not.
Like,
Crucially, he's not. No, he's like the kind of like last gasp of the like, Reagan, starting with Reagan, like realignment.
Exactly. Yes.
He's not the signal of anything new. He's like the death rattle of the ancien regime.
Well, it's true because, like, if you look at those guys like that, like, whatever, that rebranded Identity Europa, American whatever movement, and it's like their whole thing is like pro-worker, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, you're also, like, Trump guys are, like, trying to, like, get on that. It's like, that doesn't make sense, dude. Like, it's, like, you're, like, people who, like, try to thread this needle of being, like, pro-worker while also, like, supporting, like, a guy who's just literally jacks off to deregulation. And, like, union busting and stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they imagine that there's something else going on.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, totally. No, it's like it becomes just more of like more of a cultural signal than anything. I mean, it's like, we were talking about Orban. It's the same thing. But they don't even have an Orban.
They don't have an Orban. Well,
no,
they don't.
Maybe they will. I don't know what's going to emerge in the next... Like, in the wake of this thing, you don't know what's going to emerge in, like, the next 10 years. There very well could be on the horizon.
I mean, depression's often...
I don't think anyone in the current landscape fits that bill, though. Like, maybe Tucker, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they love Tucker because I think Tucker to them is, like... Because he's, like, smarmy, and he's, like... he takes these sort of, like, occasional pro-worker positions. Or at least, rather, he, like, frames stuff. Like, he frames immigration as, like, a pro-worker thing or whatever. I mean, amidst all... I mean, obviously, he has, every night, like, the worst, dumbest motherfuckers on in the world. Like, you have to really kind of focus on only some stuff he says to really think that he's, like, this kind of, whatever, right-wing pro-worker figure. You have to ignore a lot of the other shit he says. But and his entire history, but he's not going to do it. I don't think he would do it. It's like it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think he might.
I don't think these guys.
I think it depends. I don't know. I think he's ambitious.
I think he is too, but like these guys, I don't think can break. I mean, their whole like industry. I mean, he's a TV show host, and so like his whole industry is.
Trump.
But yeah, so is Trump. But like, Trump's also independently really rich, and so like these other guys, and Trump is like doesn't pretend to be pro-worker or anything. So like their whole thing is dependent on the largesse of corporations for advertising, right? Like Tucker doesn't have his like, he has like a, is he Daily Caller?
He was, yeah.
But he doesn't have his. Like
I don't know.
Trump. I don't know, like, Tucker needs advertisers. Tucker needs money from corporations. And unless they can break out of that, they can never... I mean, it's a fantasy, basically, I think. Like, I don't think... Maybe he could, but he just wouldn't be as, like, this radical that people would think he would be. I don't mean radical in the positive sense.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. I really don't know. But he's the one that really, like, sticks to mind. I think, like, people bring up like Hawley and Cotton, and I think they're too institutional. And like it really is someone from outside the like, DC. Kind of, yeah. I think Holly too. It's like, okay, he comes out. He's just, I don't know, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Also, they're both bad speakers. Holly's better than Cotton, but Holly himself, he does.
Holly, you know what's funny is that he is as a speaker, he actually has way more in common with like Mayor Pete.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they like their intonation and everything, because you can tell they both went to like politician school of Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So they both have that same kind of like rhythmic cadence that Obama has. Like Holly, same, like the shit that people were giving Pete, rightfully so, for his like kind of like dime store Obama like speeches.
Bronze
like
Age
if
Obama.
you listen to Holly's, I think it was like a Senate. It was like a big Senate speech that he gave sometime last year. It has it hits those same kind of like peaks and valleys in the way that it's so funny. He went to Stanford too, so it's like, these guys go through the same fucking like media speech prep or whatever.
Everybody's got a friend who works at the Hoover Institution.
Quality.
Everybody's got a friend who works at the fucking Hoover Institution. Exactly. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like they're all the same. I guarantee all these people have all the same friends in common, have some of the same teachers or whatever. And I agree that it has to be somebody probably who comes from outside. Maybe I should turn right wing. I would be great at it. I'd be like, guys, listen. I'll tell you, there was a bunch of guys in the 60s, like these guys who were like Maoists or whatever, who realized, and this happened in the 30s too, who realized that the communist money train was kind of running out of steam. I don't know how trains run. And switched to basically doing tell-alls. And I feel like I could do a tell-all. I'd be great at it. And you could just make stuff up too. I would say that I don't know. I can't think of anything cool anyone's done, so I can't really think of a cool way to rat them out. I would just basically be like, because you have to have something to worry. If I was going to be a snitch, I would have to pretend like there's a big problem. But the big problem is basically people being like, go unions, and then like continuing to just work at like a regular job. I don't know. It's like that's not a union job or anything. So
right, it's people like, it's like signaling without embedding.
Oh yeah, or joining the IWW and saying that you're a union worker while you work at an insurance company. So maybe I would say that.
Yeah, but like speaking for rather than speaking up, like not actually embedding oneself in any,
I know what I would do. I would say that the Workers' World Party has a neutron bomb that they assembled over the past 50 years. That they received the ability, the training, and the materials from North Korea, and that there is a neutron bomb somewhere in like the Sacramento area.
It's a neutron bomb.
Neutron bomb. It's like the atom bomb, but much better.
Neutron bomb only kills people, doesn't it, and not buildings? Wasn't that the point of it?
I believe so. I tell you what, atom bomb. All those bombs always seem very unfair to me, so I have very dishonorable to use. So I never really looked into it. But yeah, neutron bomb is as we know from the dead Kennedys, apparently just kills people. But yeah, or I would just say that DSA gets paid by Israel more than they actually do. I know DSA National receives some kind of stipend from the Israeli foreign ministry or something, but I would just say it's several times what it is. Yeah, I don't know. How you guys doing? How you guys holding up?
I'm pretty good. The sound of the rain was soothing this morning to hear outside my window, so I like that. I hope that my walks have been really good. I think I talked about that. I don't know, last time or when we were recording. So I really want to. If it rains too much, I can't get my walks up the hill in. So I hope I get to do that tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really complain too much because I'm doing pretty okay, to be honest.
Liz,
I like that shirt, Bray.
Thank you. It's a boat.
I'm freezing. It sucks. I'm so cold.
Speak on it, baby. How cold are you?
I'm so cold. I slept in socks, sweatpants, sweatshirt, and t-shirt last night. And I usually don't sleep in that.
Yeah.
3 blankets, a heating pad. My apartment is so fucking cold. I'm so mad.
Girls always sleep in socks. I want to say that's not unusual. Fellas do not sleep in socks.
No.
But that's awful. Do you need a? Do you have a?
It's why I'm wearing a coat right now. I feel self-conscious about, but I'm just like.
A good trick I learned a while ago is to start a fire indoors, and then when you're
what about just turning my oven on?
Yes.
Your oven.
Yes.
Is that a bad idea?
Finish it. For warmth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that dangerous?
It sounds dangerous. Hold on. I think my mouse is in front of you. It sounds dangerous, but it might not be. I don't know. Should Liz turn her oven on in the chat? Can we get an answer to that?
I feel like it wouldn't be that efficient, but I mean, ovens are meant to be turned on.
Well, Liz,
I got my fire.
A lot of people don't know this.
There's nothing efficient because my heat is out for the weekend, so it would be more efficient than no heat, right?
So what? Your neighbor complained about the noise of the heat?
I don't want to get in on that on the stream.
Okay, it just sounds a little ridiculous. I would say, do you have lighters? You should rig something up where a lighter is just always really near your face, so the heat from that can light you up. How you guys doing out there?
Out there in the chat.
Everyone scares me. Heated blanket. Yeah, okay, I can't get a heated blanket. Also, it's going back on tomorrow, apparently.
What day is it? Sunday?
Yeah. Just keep taking baths so I can get warm.
Get a space heater. Good Brace. Bye, Brace. Why is Brace wearing sunglasses? Because he's a cool guy.
Get my water. Yeah, I'm cool. People don't understand it's okay to wear sunglasses now. That's the thing there's no reason, if you think about this, there's no reason for me to even be wearing a shirt right now. What I'm doing is I'm trying to go about my day as if it's a normal day. That's what keeps me sane.
I agree. That's why every day, like normal, I get dressed and I go in my backyard and I take a picture of myself and I put it online. That's like a normal day.
I'm struggling to comment on the normality of that.
It's fully normal, actually.
Do your neighbors ever interrupt you?
Every time I go out there, there's a moment I kind of case it out. Nobody's ever been back there, but I'm always like, somebody's back here. It's gonna ruin my fucking day. What if one day? Because eventually they're doing construction back there.
Oh, those guys are gonna fuck with you.
Well, they're gonna restart it, but it's been on hiatus for a long time, and I'm like, in my head, I'm gonna have to. I'll change my profile picture to all black, and I'll be like, I'm gonna have to apologize to my followers. There's gonna be no more fit pics. Unfortunately, I'd like to make amends with the community, but it's because I can't get to my backyard anymore.
When you say fit pic, are you talking about a fitness pic or a fit of clothing?
No, fit is short for outfit, but I guess it could be short for fitness. But in this case, fit pic is.
When are you going to do another fitness video?
I don't know. I feel like I shifted gears to synth videos, and now I'm kind of on that tip.
Listen, my buddy.
No, you gotta be Renaissance man.
I am, but it's hard to be pulled in so many directions.
As your Jewish manager, I gotta say this.
Time, baby.
I need you to do some gay baiting.
Some what?
Some what?
Was that? What is?
What did you say?
What is that?
Excuse me.
Hold on. That's okay to say. What? Gay baiting. Where you basically, it's like...
That's not what I thought you said.
Me either.
Gay dating? I would love it if you did that as well. I want you to do some stuff. Like, I want a slip or something. Listen, our
what's like a dick slip?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I see on the internet there's a lot of people that are horny all the time now. I'm like, we need to get more listeners, man. We need to get more listeners.
I think I know how to keep people coming back. I had a great time doing the synth stream last night. If you were there, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to doing that again.
I need you to smoke meth and masturbate for 12 hours on stream.
Well, you should do that.
I already do that, but my camera fucks up. I never did that. No, every time first of all, I never smoked meth. I've only shot it. But doing meth it never made me aroused. It just made me I needed to clean a lot.
I could use that around here, TBH.
Yeah, I imagine people, I don't know, if you're tweaking right now, it probably rules, because I guarantee you have the cleanest house that you've ever had in your life, or the dirtiest, because tweakers, they vacillate between the two. I know, we've been getting a lot of messages from people who are like kind of freaking out because they're addicts or they're drunks right now, and that's becoming a little more difficult. Unfortunately, like I was saying, complaining about last stream, every like recovery meeting has just like 40, 60-year-old men masturbating in it now. I don't
40,
get that.
60-year-old men.
Or 16. It's really hard to tell. I could just be like videos they found, but like, I don't get it, because I love harassment, right? But it's like, that's like such a level of dedication for harassment that like, I'm almost in awe. Like, because you're not even harassing like, you're just harassing like drunk people. Or no,
so you think
aren't even drunk.
Those guys are addicts and they're choosing to jerk off, or they're just griefers?
No, what is a griefer like? What's a griefer?
Griefer is just something like they're just trying to fuck shit up. Or do you think they're addicted to public masturbation?
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know why.
Because here's the thing. I know I've probably mentioned this before, but I always mention it. That's my worst nightmare, to have that be a public occurrence. That is a terrible, horrible nightmare for me.
Wait, to be like accidentally masturbating in public?
Anyway, to ever in any possible way that people see me doing that in public, total nightmare for me.
Sure.
But there seems to be a lot of people who not only is that not their nightmare, but they enjoy it.
You get off on it, yeah.
It's the Pritchard school of public humiliation. Just like totally foreign. I hate the thought of that. I don't even like sharing in AA meetings, let alone masturbating in them.
Right.
It seems ridiculous.
But I'm imagining, right, there's this scenario, I feel like this is kind of layered, right, where you have people who are alcoholics and they're coming to the meeting to talk about their alcohol addiction. You have these other guys that are addicted to publicly masturbating, and they're joining the chat for the alcoholics, and they're masturbating on it.
It's called intersectionality, baby.
Exactly, yeah. So there needs to be a third level somehow that comes in, like people who are addicted to stopping people from masturbating, and they can hack it. I don't know. This scenario is intriguing to me. It's the intersection of like technology and psychology, bodies and spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I don't like any of it.
Well, these are the kind of new things that are coming up in this time, right? That we have to kind of try to appreciate, because who would have predicted, right?
Holy shit, guys! I just had the best fucking idea. This is like an actual money making idea. So, the concept just came to me, so I'm fleshing it out as I'm talking to you. You know how people? I've spoken to several people I know, and they are continuing to use dating apps to meet people. But they basically, what they have to do is just like have a Zoom call with some guy that they don't know. Sounds like a nightmare, and from what I understand, it kind of is a nightmare. However, what if you made and produced and marketed an app or application, which I believe app is short for, that was like you could go on like a virtual date with somebody. Like there was like mini games, and you guys watched a video or like this funky backgrounds or something like that. That's pretty good.
I don't even want anyone to create this in the way that it could like then just like become the new normal.
But also it steals your information.
and you sell it. We sell it.
Those
We sell the
built
information.
in.
What's up?
Well, it would be like
I just don't want any of that to become like normal. I think it's all so awful.
Lizzie, baby, I didn't want any of this to be normal, but here we are.
Yeah, it's going to be though, because as we know from Demolition Man, that's how sex works in the future. You put on the headset with Sandra Bullock, and because of diseases, that's what they say. So we know that all restaurants are going to be Taco Bell, and that 3 seashells is how you wipe your ass, and sex is done with a headset. So obviously, all of those things are coming true.
Well, Zizek has a great bit about how in the future no one will have sex. They'll just meet, and then like 2 sex toys. They'll have like each of their sex toys will have sex while they get to just have a conversation.
So wait, so you got like and then another one goes in it, and they're autonomous, and that they do it to each other.
Yeah, don't make me say it a bit out loud.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I mean, that doesn't seem too far off for me. I'm sure that like some people have like.
No, that's like his whole bit though.
He does
it's
have
a
a lot
good.
of bits.
I mean, Shit has those classic bits. It's a good one.
Yeah, he's a bit guy. He's a total bit guy.
Yeah, look. There's nothing better than when Zizek plays the hits.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
love it.
100%. Yeah, a close personal friend of mine. We hung out once.
I love that photo of you guys.
Amazing. He was very psychotic when I met him.
I've heard he's the nicest person ever.
He was very nice, but he was just a high energy guy. That was like, that was like almost 5 or 6 years ago now. But
I guess longer.
No. This was I can't remember why this was or when this was, but this was at like one of those arts places where they do art and talk. But that makes sense to me. Like this, it's a totally but that's almost different, right? Because if you're doing like an online date where you're like playing like virtual whack-a-mole with somebody, not like literal, like you're playing like a mini game that's virtual whack-a-mole, and like at a fake carnival or something. That's different. That's because that's almost like that's okay. That's a proxy, but you're controlling the proxy there. But if
it's like Zoom dating.
Zoom dating, yeah. Is that a thing?
Sim.
Oh, Sim.
Sim.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know what it is.
It's
a business opportunity.
You just have like avatars that you control in that date. I mean, isn't that like Second Life or whatever?
Well, we talked about that one episode of Black Mirror where they're in a fighting game and it's the 2 dudes and then they end up fucking.
That episode rocks. I'm not a big Black Mirror guy, but that one fucking rules. Watch it.
Yeah, you seem really fascinated.
I've only seen a little bit of it. It's not my favorite.
It's not my. It always.
It's like, dang, what if cell phones were also in your eyeballs, but also your dick?
Yeah.
So
that actually is literally the plot of that episode, I believe. Although it left it unclear whether they complete in real life. There was a couple of.
I like the one about David Cameron.
Oh, where he fucks. Didn't he fuck a horse or something? He fucks a pig.
A pig.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. When he was at Cambridge or Oxford or wherever he went.
Well, I have a question. I do have a question for our audience. Have any of you guys gone on virtual dates since this happened? Because I'm very interested. I wish I was a fucking sociologist. Like, I wish I was able to process and like put all this.
You do know if you were a sociologist.
Somebody says yes.
Oh, can you
wait?
If you guys have like a date with somebody you've never met in your life that you met on the internet, and no, just with pals. Yes,
someone said dark. Yes, it's dark.
Well, tell me what about it.
Okay, if you haven't, you don't need to say.
I don't. If you haven't,
just
the baseline is that you haven't. So by just not saying anything, you're like me. I haven't either. I'm on a 4-way date right now. You wish. So much. I don't mean a virtual date. God Christ.
Well, I've been FaceTiming with somebody that I met recently.
You gonna elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, like we started talking. and then this all happened, and we're all quarantined. So,
bless you.
You know, Gesundheit. I mean, it's like you were saying. I never in my life FaceTimed before this. Like, I find it. I don't know. I never thought it was. Never had any reason to. I find it like annoying and makes me anxious. But it's like there's no other contact besides for me, like with the two of you, which is
But
nice.
You had met this person before?
No, have not met in real life.
I'm like that. I'm almost talking about something like the way that my friend explained it to me was that she met a guy on Tinder like a week ago, and that since then they had a scheduled time at like 7:30 where they ate. I believe both ate dinner at the same time and FaceTimed.
That's interesting, but I would think that this is probably happening too. This seems even more like if you meet somebody, people are still matching right now on dating apps, right? So what are you gonna do?
They gotta shut those down.
Yeah, but like hopefully, if you're not actually going to meet the person, I think people are trying. Actually, I got a little like notification, or I don't remember where I saw this, but it was like do a Zoom date, do an online a remote date. They're trying to push this, just like keep using the dating app. But we're not going to encourage you to meet people like physically, but they're telling you that this is what you should do because they don't want their business of the dating app to die. So they're telling you to like do a FaceTime date or whatever with somebody that you've never met before, so that you keep using their service, and
That's
like hope that you'll get to meet them and fuck them after
You gotta create an app that lets you do it, but on a more like. It's a really good idea, Liz, and I know it creeps you out, but, listen, the Golden Gate Bridge freaked a lot of people out before they built it. And look how much money that made whoever those guys were. I'm telling you, have a virtual carnival, the classic date destination, where you ride a Ferris wheel, but instead you're on Mount Everest and looking down. I guess I am just talking about Second Life, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I feel like in your head you're conceiving it as something different.
Genius, yeah.
But I think it kind of basically is that.
Well, in my head canon, the idea is I think almost dumber. Like I think Second Life is more complex because my idea is you're still just like looking on FaceTime, but you're also playing like a dumb little like iPhone game, but just against it. It's like Words with Friends, except you can see the other person's face.
They should just make, why don't they just make, what is that game everyone's playing? Animal Farm?
Animal Crossing.
Whatever. Just make a plugin for it or I don't know, for Tinder or whatever app people use. So you can, have your little pig man or whatever, meet, lady farmer crosser or whatever this game is, and they can rear sheep together or whatever you do in this stupid thing.
You can live together on your farm. Damn. Some people
build a homestead together and then never talk to each other ever again after this whole thing is over.
That's what the thing is.
It's not real life.
Yes. What if it just is? I mean, I'm
projecting all of it. I'm gonna find a Luddite poet. Somehow.
Yeah, you should. In my head, I'm like, I'll get Liz a boyfriend, and that means that you'll never get one, so you can never be distracted from the podcast. Yeah. Well, so my worry is that somebody will find you who is like a Luddite poet, and then you'll be like, I can't record. Twice a week now.
Well, then we'd have to.
Why?
Take care of him.
Why? Because what if he's very dark and mysterious?
I'm very strong-willed.
What if he's very dark and mysterious? What if he's like a handsome
you're saying
Persian?
I can't record because I'm respecting his views about technology?
No, yeah, but what if he's like, honey, I'm actually going to need you to spend 3 weeks in Big Sur at the house I own with me.
That's not great.
And we're going bow hunting. Or I'm going bow hunting while you read Proust by the roaring fire I've created from the trees I've felled. If that guy fucking does that... I swear to God, if he does,
Well, you don't have to worry, baby, because I've already read Proust.
Oh, it's Proust? I'm talking about Proust. It's a different author. It's French.
Kirk Proust.
Yeah, it's Kirk Proust. Yeah, but I'm saying, nah. If there's any handsome Luddites out there, you can date Liz, but you got to give me $800 first. And I don't saying that you can't do that without it. I'm just saying that gets me out of the way, right? You can do it without paying me.
That's not. This is not the right.
No, I'm not.
You don't have that kind of.
I am not pimping. I'm not pimping. I want to be clear on that. I'm not pimping right now. I'm not. I mean, I am big pimping, but I'm not pimping in the literal sense. I'm simply saying that that's like protection money. Like you're all good after you pay me $800 a month. It's like rent for me to go somewhere else. I've never heard you sneeze before today.
Really?
Yeah.
I sneeze very strange. Everyone always comments. It's everything I say. Everyone always has to say something. Same thing with sneezing.
Well, all girls sneeze weird.
They do.
I know, but mine's like so, yeah.
You're like, ha-choo-bee!
No. I don't do that.
Yeah. So I went on that girl Nico's stream.
The OK Boomer girl?
What's up?
Haven't we moved on to another character yet?
Yeah, and that was people that I don't think people got that was an April Fool's joke. I would never answer a DM.
That's not true.
Here's the thing: streamers are other streamers are our enemies, and we will never. I am making this pledge for everyone here. We will only insult, belittle, and criticize our enemies. And in fact, I'm speaking for Liz specifically here. Liz hates every other streamer. And she wants.
I don't even know what other streamers are.
I don't know what a stream is.
Who's a streamer?
A stream is something that you fish in.
That's so quaint.
Yeah. Speaking of though, we should have guests.
Yeah, we should do that.
I feel like we could get. I want to get Rogan or Jones. I want to get Rogan or Alex Jones.
I want to talk about this on the stream, Brace.
Okay. I want them to do it with us. I want them to game with us.
Yeah, I think we should talk about just like friends of the pod coming on.
We have no friends anymore. They've all abandoned us. We've been kicked out of the Podcasters Guild due to money laundering.
Embezzling union dues.
Dude, I wish there was a Podcasters Guild. Just like how there's an Actors Guild. What's up?
Why not?
Well, I would only want to do it if there was some sort of financial structure that would like unduly benefit the president of the guild.
Which would be you.
No, in the interest of fairness,
you
it could be anybody.
Hoffa podcasters.
Dude, I would be such a good Hoffa, Liz. I would be such a good Hoffa.
I know. I want that for you so badly.
Do your Hoffa.
Oh, I couldn't do Hoffa. I could just do my own sort of version.
What would your take on Hoffa sound like?
A rising tide lifts all boats. Some boats are lighter than others. They rise quicker. Trick them with metaphors such as that.
I mean, I don't want you to like do an impression.
I'm not trying to do an impression.
I think that you could just like body without the. I don't want you to get all up in the CIA and the mob though.
Dude, I wish yeah. Ever since they gave us Israel,
like it's true that Hoffa was like also really bad.
Yeah. Well, and his son sucks too. I don't think a lot of people understand that his son I think he's stepping down or like not running for re-election next time. But his son is still in charge of the Teamsters. There was this weird shit out here where one of the mayor's ally, one of London Breed's friends, the way that like opening weed stores in San Francisco works is that if you're a black person, you get either there's some like way to do it. It's like a affirmative action kind of thing where there's some way, or it's called equity or something, where there's like some way to get the permits quicker, which totally makes sense. Except that a bunch of like rich like white tech guys would just find a black guy and then use him as like a figurehead while they basically took all the money. And the first weed store to open up on Haight Street was that situation by one of the mayor's allies, this guy Connor Johnston, who I once I flicked a lit cigarette right into his face while I was talking.
He did a whole post about it.
It was very sick. He did a whole post saying I was like he lost that. His team lost that election, by the way. But you have to sign a labor peace contract, basically with a trade union, being like, we won't stop our employees from organizing if they want to organize. It turns out that this guy, they had signed a labor peace agreement with a union called like ProTech Local 73, which I never heard of. And I looked into it.
It's not a real one, is it?
Not a real union. And I think that this fake labor union, ProTech Local, what is it? Let me look at what it is.
I like how they were just like had local plus number, and people will assume we're a real union.
Yes. ProTech Local 33. Oh yeah, look, Strikewave actually put out a article about it, but it's not a real union, and it's by a fucking former Teamsters like minor mafia boss from New York, or excuse me, from Chicago, and it's just totally psycho. Yeah, look, cannabis division, just it's totally fucking fake. But that got me thinking, what if we did something like that for podcasters?
A fake union?
A fake union that we then got if they have employees, that we then got their employees to sign contracts with, where we get something like, so this guy's old union, it's like a manufacturer's union. They took in $1 million a year, and they spent $700,000 of that on security for the boss.
We do need security, probably, at some point. I know, yeah.
I'm feeling very secure right now, my brother. I'm feeling more secure than I have in a long time. Also, by the way, I don't want to talk about this too much on stream, but there's Liz, there's a certain mountain redoubt I was talking to you about the other day.
There's a who?
A certain mountain redoubt, a certain rural destination that we were talking about. Yeah. All clear.
Oh, really?
All clear, baby. Defensible.
Camera, I won't.
I think it'll just adjust after a second.
Yeah, the autofocus goes a little...
This is something I want to tell those listening. You don't have to figure it out right now, but I would start figuring out a rural destination with a water source and a food source for you in case next Christmas brings only pain instead of presents. That's phase.
I was trying to describe you as a spot that has proximity but distance, if that makes sense.
Yes. Well, I know what you're talking about.
Not like
explain it to
middle
them.
of nowhere. But just in case you need to bug out.
Well, I think if you are somebody who can like survive, like which I'm no offense, I'm not so sure how that population is among our watchers. But if you are somebody that can like, you know what you're doing, you're like an outdoorsman type, you should go wherever, the wilds of Montana. But if you are a urban Naxalite, if you're an urban person, or just somebody who's not used to nature or something, yeah, you want to find somewhere that's not too far away.
Okay, wait. So speaking of rural. I want to talk about all the hubbub on the little, that all the little the internet street urchins are talking about, which is earthquakes and tunnels. Do you know about this shit?
Well, I know there's been a lot of earthquakes lately, right?
There have. Particularly in places like Idaho, which is very weird. Also, basically, okay, so this is the new, this is what the cute little crazy cute people are talking about, and I love it.
I love it.
Is that, okay, so this is the theory. So, I sent it to you, I think. So the 2 med boats, like naval ships, that are, one's in LA and one's in New York.
Yeah.
That those are set up as remote hospitals, not for corona patients, but actually that underneath the ground, there is a mass, complex of underground tunnels that the military has been using for decades and decades to traffic children, and this is a cover-up for special ops coming in to rescue all the sex-trafficked children that live underneath the ground. So they're getting them out of the tunnels to put them on the ships to deal with their, traumas.
That's
like in that DARPA tweet where they were like, we need a complex that has a lot of tunnels. If anybody has a facility like that, please DM us.
Well, that reminds me too.
No, but my theory with that is that they were looking for private facilities because there are public facilities, but they don't want to use it because then they have to admit that there really is an underground map, of military tunnels, which, by the way, 1,000% I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
My friend just texted me there were 23 more earthquakes in Idaho today.
I know there was earthquakes in Texas and here in California too, right? It's funny. I thought I felt an earthquake yesterday, but I think it was just a truck. Well, this reminds me too of Dulce Base underneath one of those, some like mesa or mountain or something in New Mexico that was very close, supposedly, to a certain Jeffrey Epstein's hacienda out there.
Yeah.
And
let's not forget that they recently moved NORAD operations to the bunker in Cheyenne.
Really? I thought it was always there. Really? God damn.
No, they moved it down below. They said they were moving essential NORAD and other personnel because of the pandemic.
Dude, I want to get into that so bad.
No, I'm telling you. Hey, little gumshoes out there. It's time to get into tunnels.
Yeah, we got to start talking about tunnels.
And theorizing. Truthers, get under tunnels.
Well, you know what?
In a big way.
Oh, yeah. Info has been surfacing all day. This is one of the extraction sites in Central Park, which they do primarily through the night for security/safety of the children. Oh, these people think that they're getting the children out. And many of them have never seen daylight, so they'll need slow exposure to light. Perfect. Take them out at 2 a.m. Watch the sunrise.
Saving the children.
That's supposedly in Central Park. It appears... I'll be honest with you, it's not... It just looks like it could be a tarp on the ground, but it could be a tunnel.
That's the
they're saying tunnel.
And then this is... They're saying that this is the leg of a malnourished child. Video Central Park nurse talking about the tunnels.
Someone is asking who put children there. No, the whole point is that the U.S. government is engaged in mass-scale child sex trafficking.
Well, I mean, so the cute people actually think that the U.S. government is now stopping that, right?
It's like factions. So, like, the Donald Trump good faction is battling the bad sex trafficking faction.
Dude, Alex Jones,
Dude, but I will say this. My friend showed me a map. Fuck, I want to, I want to show you. Let me
text it to me. I can show it on my phone. Or I guess you could just do that, too.
I can show it on my phone. Wait, because my friend I was talking to my friend for so long about this. Like last night, I think. Yes. Okay, wait, here we go. Wait. Where was it? Hold on a second. It basically showed a map of like what the tunnels and where the tunnels were, but then it also showed a map of like all of the missing child like abduction cases, and they like were really smart.
I mean, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, here we go. Can you see it?
It's a little difficult, but yeah, I can. I can see more the East Coast. The West Coast is a little too light. Oh, yeah. Well, how come there's so many in California, but there's
Those
not
are
that
the
many?
caves. Those are underground caves in the bottom one.
Oh,
And the top one is the concentration of missing children.
Matches up pretty good.
It's very Stranger Things season 2.
I didn't see it. But I'll tell you what it is.
I didn't know.
Well, they all know what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you this. I'm 8 years old. You try to bring me to a cave, not happening. Immediately suspicious. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but why are they bringing up in Central Park? So there's like a cave system that goes to Central Park?
No, I think it's just like areas where they're like letting people in or something.
Oh, wow, that worked.
Like areas where they're going to take care of people. I don't know why they would. That is a good point. It's like, why would you do it in the middle of Manhattan?
I would do it.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's the
also Manhattan. There's no doctors.
Yeah, exactly. That's where all the people. They're like, hey, I know that kid. Someone texted me this earlier. I won't show it, but a picture of Jeffrey Epstein's mail.
A person just said there are subway tunnels under a part of Central Park. So maybe it's like the tunnels connect to the subway? What if mole people are actually sex trafficking victims?
First of all, no one has proven that Israel is involved in this in any way, Liz.
No, watch yourself. Do you believe? I think I saw a mole person once.
Describe him to me. A short king?
No. Okay, so it was when I was on Muni once. I think I was actually going to your house. And it was like I was on the end, like coming out of the you know, by Church Street.
Yeah.
But it was like before that, so it was like, and I always like look out the window even though it's just a tunnel.
Of course.
And I saw like a shiny flesh toned thing, and it was moving. I think it was a mole person.
Absolutely. That's why they're building the central
offshoot. Like you could see, it's not just like one straight tunnel.
No.
There's like areas.
And that's why. So a lot of people don't like know this in San Francisco. There's this plan to build a central subway, which is a subway that literally goes for about 10. You could walk the area that it's going in about 10 or 15 minutes. And there are many buses that go there. And they've been building this insanely expensive subway there that a lot of people didn't understand. It was like why it was like a mayoral, it was like a pork thing. Probably just doing it for new homes for the mole people, because they're not immune from gentrification either.
This person is saying I had your back on ghosts, but mole people is too far.
Fuck off. I'm sorry. So you
believe the spectral, but not the physical?
Yeah, exactly. So something I made out of ectoplasm is okay with you, but something made out of flesh and blood that bleeds if you cut it and cries if you make it sad, that's not
something
real?
Made out of mole? Somebody just said, why are they shiny?
A lot of people don't understand. I am made out of mold. I am mold. There's so much on me.
Shiny?
Wait, I don't even get it. What? I don't get it.
There was one comment that said shiny with a question mark, and someone else with 3 question marks. Why are they shiny?
Oh. They're greasy, dude. How do you think they move so fast under there?
I was picturing something like a metallic sheen. I don't know.
Yeah, not greasy. Maybe wet.
Could be wet. Well, that makes sense, right?
I know, it sounds crazy. I swear, I saw a mole person.
You're saying the mole people are moist.
Was he like, did he have, was it, because in my head you're saying this, I'm basically picturing a wet worm. But was this bipedal? This creature bipedal?
Were they nude or clothed?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know the Seinfeld episode with the pig man?
With the what?
The what?
You know the Seinfeld episode with the pig man?
No.
Vaguely.
What?
Why are they shiny?
How do you not know that? This is like canon.
Well, presumably it's canon if it's a Seinfeld episode. No, I don't know the Pigman. Let me look up the Pigman.
Pigman.
Pigman Seinfeld.
Kramer sees a pig man in the hospital.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so was that kind of vibe?
Whoa. Well, I told you that I've told you my story with the pig lady.
What pig lady? Did you see a pig lady?
I swear I've told this story. Can anybody watching?
So funny.
Can any of you guys who are watching tell me if I've told about the pig lady before? It's not a fun story. It involves me.
Everyone's saying no, and I don't know this story.
You do know this story. You do know this story. I described her, I believe, usually as in Empire Strikes Back. There are the guards of Jabba the Hutt. What are they called?
Gamorrean guards.
And people may think I'm being mean right now, but this person did something really, really mean to me. It involves blood. No, I swear I've told this story.
It rings a bell now that we're talking about Gamorrean guards.
I have told you about it. It's a dark story, but it didn't like traumatize me or anything, so I can tell it.
So are we gonna get into it?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Liz to get back. I should probably put a content warning here because it involves technical assault of me sexually.
Okay, CW.
But it is funny. So, but also bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I should tell it. It is. I've never thought of it as like an assault story until like a couple years ago. But it was. I'm trying to get the vibe of this. If it's so, you remember that apartment above Gracias Madre where they did all the shows, Liz?
What was it called?
I can't remember the name of it, but it was like...
What was it called? Because it had 2 names. One from when we were a kid, and then it rebranded, remember? But yeah.
The Loft thing, where many people did many mean things to me.
Oh, wait, I was thinking of a different place. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it was like it's...
Where our friend lived.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I should say her name on here, but she might be watching. If you are, hello. It was at a... I had some bad experiences with girls at this place, but it was at a party there, and I had taken many drugs, and I was outside, and I was like very woozy, or it's kind of like, it wasn't. I was a little light in my loafers, you might say. I was.
No, that's not the term you think it is.
Yes, it means I was not great on my feet. I was moving around, and this lady comes up to me, and she's got 2 sets of teeth. She's got regular teeth, and she's got fucked up more teeth. Which, respect, that usually looks cool. But in this, it was freaking me out, and I was like, hey.
What?
Like they were fake?
You know Ian Slavonius? From like...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got them too. It's like a shark. They got the regular teeth, and then they got from their gums, they got another set of teeth coming down. It's a double set.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people have it. I swear to God, Ian Slavonius has 2 sets of teeth. Like a shark.
All right.
Well, this lady had that, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And I was talking to her, and then she tells me, she's huge, and she tells me, like, hey, all your friends are at my house doing coke. And I had taken Xanax. Oh, no, I hadn't. I had taken cocaine. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And she was like, hey, take this. And I think she either gave me Xanax or maybe I took Xanax. I don't know. There was Xanax. Someone put Xanax in my mouth, which is not something I like to do. And she just yeah, come over. And I go to her house. And
did we lose Bryce?
Did I?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, I can still see you
guys. What a moment to lose him.
Can you guys see me now? Uh-oh. Well, old friends, it's just you and me. Should I stop the stream? Or should I keep telling the story? I'm going to... Wait, you guys, I guess, can't really see this, huh? So I can just click around however much I want. Well, it appears this... Does anyone have an alternative application for us to use? I'll tell you what, we tried Zoom earlier, it doesn't work. Google Chat doesn't look good either. Is there another house party type application? I'm going to have to exit this and restart it. So I'm going to be stopping the stream real quick. Sorry, guys. But I'll be back in 2 seconds.